Thank you.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've been here.
Yeah.
I used to listen to your tapes a long time ago
Yeah.
with my husband. He has since passed away.
Yeah.
And I'm finding fear and blame and just upheaval in a way that all of this sounds really great,
Yeah.
but you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's a really strong statement, and it's true too. It's accurate, true, because your inner being is like us. And when you feel the way you're feeling, two things are important for you to know about that. You're right. We aren't resonating with that because we don't feel that way. But the second most important part is the reason you feel that way is because you are not feeling the way your inner being feels. In other words, what you're feeling feels like it's for all of these reasons, and they're valid and justified. We get it. But what you're feeling is the deprivation of yourself from yourself. Feel the circle of this. I don't feel like my inner being feels, and because I don't feel like my inner being feels, I feel like I feel. I feel like I feel because I don't feel like my inner being feels. This is the way somebody feels who's not in connection with their inner being. It feels like you can't get there from there, but you can. You don't always feel fear, do you?
I guess it's more, yeah, it's fear, but it's also, I question every single thing.
All right, so just give us one question at a time. We'll give you an answer. And some of your questions, the answers will satisfy you, and some of them won't. Try to be succinct, but I question everything. Big question?
Financial.
What's the question? Do I deserve money? Yes.
Will I be able to stay in my house? Those are the kind of questions I have.
Well, you see, this is what we want to help you to discover. Now, we're just asking you, and the conversations that have come before are perfect preparation for this, so this will be easier for you. So feel the difference between the wobbly question, will I be able to stay in my house, and the statement, I want to stay in my house. Can you feel a difference in those?
Yeah.
And if you say, will I be able to stay in my house? I hope I can stay in my house. Will I be able to stay in my house? I want to stay in my house. No momentum ever happens because you wobble, 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 wobble. But if you say, I want to stay in my house, I want to stay in my house, I want to stay in my house, what happens is, before long, you become a vibrational match to your inner being who says, you're staying in your house, 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 you're staying in your house. I want to stay in my house, you're staying in your house. I want to stay in my house, you're staying in your house. And then pretty soon you're saying, I'm staying in my house, I'm staying in my house. And you can't feel that sureness and that insecurity at the same time. And the thing that we really want to explain to you is, you see, it feels to you that you didn't have any choice about your husband making his transition, and you didn't, because you don't create his reality. So it feels to you like something really big and really bad that you didn't have a choice in has happened, and now that's why you're questioning everything. What do I have choices about? And we say you have choices about whether you stay in your house or not. If you decide that you're going to stay in your house and you don't wobble with all of that insecurity, then you become a vibrational match to your inner being who knows that you can do whatever you're wanting to do. And after a little while of that, that insecurity goes away, but you have to practice it. If you decided that you were going to find out how stable you are as a physical human, and you decided that you were just going to lie on your couch for a month or two, and maybe you have a willing friend who will slip food under your door. Maybe you have a long tube that puts something into your mouth occasionally. But you, for the most part, just lie there on your couch. Just lie there and lie there and lie there and lie there. So you don't practice any of your muscles of balance or stability. You don't practice the upright position at all. The muscles of your body begin acclimating to all that's needed for them to lie on the couch, which isn't hardly very much, just a little bit of arm action to get the chips off the coffee table. And so when you stand up, you're going to be pretty wobbly. You haven't used those muscles, and so they're not ready for you. And then you wouldn't just leap up and go running down the street. You'd have a very hard time because those muscles have atrophied. You have not utilized them. And that's what happens with your thought muscles too. As you feel discouraged, or as you feel depressed, or as you feel lonely, and all of those things are certainly natural. But if those are the vibrational muscles that you're practicing, then you find yourself feeling more and more insecure and less efficient. And the thing about the universe and its response to you is that it's attraction. And the vibrational muscles, the thought muscles that you are practicing, is the way the universe responds to you. So when you feel insecure, the universe responds by giving you more reasons to feel insecure. You meet up with others that feel insecure, and the support groups are not that supporting. They're supporting your insecurity, not your security. That would be a support group. We support you in all your problems. You got a problem, come to us, we'll amplify it. We'll help you defend it, you see. But when you realize that you would not lie on the couch, you might want to, but you would get up and you would move around. And don't you notice the way your body responds? Your body responds very quickly to the decisions that you make. Everything, the entire universe responds quickly to the decisions that you make. So you've just got to make a decision. Am I insecure or am I secure? Do I want to feel good or do I want to feel bad? Is life over for me, or have I got a whole bunch of wonderful life ahead of me? You just make those decisions one at a time until you regain your connection to your source and you regain your momentum. You know, if you practice feeling good, there's a momentum that literally will propel you through anything. That's the way momentum is, you see. It'll take you to places that you didn't even know you could go. But once you get that momentum going, off you go. Yes? So we know that was helpful. We know it made you feel better. So do you have another question? That was a good question. It really brought a good answer, didn't it?
I find that...
Now wait, think about what you're doing here. Think about what you're doing, because you're making statements. You're practicing your muscles right now. So which muscle are you practicing with this next sentence that you're about to offer us?
Well,
are you arguing for your limitations?
No, I want to live in the solution of whatever is going on. The uncertainty.
Now, wait a minute.
It makes me a little crazy, but I am trying to... I say yes to everything. I try not to stay in
We appreciate you so much, but you're not even trying yet, and it's all right. Words don't really matter, and so we're not really asking you to choose words that you don't mean, but we are asking you to feel the point of attraction of the words that you are using. So when you use a word like uncertainty, flesh it out a little bit and make it a nicer word to you. I know there's lots of choices that I will be making, and things will clear up in time. Isn't that a nicer way than saying uncertainty?
Yeah.
When you say it's crazy making, or it makes me crazy, can't you say something that's a little nicer to you? I'm a stable girl. The reason that I even can recognize what crazy is because I know what stability is, and I prefer stable to crazy. Who is it in your world that is enjoying your chronic complaining? Is there anybody that's enjoying your chronic complaining? You're sure not. Esther said to a friend, after Jerry made his transition, a friend of hers, his wife made her transition, and they were talking one night over dinner, and he said to Esther, I'm just feeling so damn sorry for myself. And Esther really heard that, because she thought, ooh, I'm doing some of that too. I'm doing some of that too. And it is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's all right to miss someone. It's natural that you do. And it's all right to acknowledge the benefit that they provided when they were there. It's natural that you would. But feeling sorry for yourself, or actually choosing to point out the hardship that you're living, you can never get over hardship when that's your pattern. You just can't do it, you see. Do you think your inner being is feeling sorry for you? Because when you are, it sucks, doesn't it? Because your inner being knows your strength, and when you don't, you feel your inner being isn't agreeing with you. And we are standing here as a verbal representation of your inner being, you see. So of course you feel wobbly, but you don't need to all the time. And often you don't, but that's not what you're talking to us about right now. You're not telling us the story about how you woke up one morning and you sort of got full of yourself and you went out and the day was beautiful again until you felt guilty about the day being beautiful. You didn't tell us that story. You didn't tell us how much fun you're having in your newfound freedom and autonomy. You're not telling us any of those stories. You're not telling us about how you like being in charge of your life and how it's nice not to have a damn compromise every time you turn around, that you're getting to do what you want, that you're getting to order what you want to eat. You're not just eating the other half of what somebody else wants to eat. You're not telling us any of those stories.
Well, there's definitely
You're
more
not telling
root
us
beer
about how
in
you
my
get to
house.
spend your money the way you want to spend your money. You're not telling us about the restrictions being lifted. You're not telling us any of those stories of freedom because you feel guilty, because you think you're supposed to feel sad for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
enough?
Yeah, I'm good.
Really good. Really good. Yeah.